Hello, folks. Last Patriot 2016, codename Skyscraper, known as the Badass Geek. Friends like to call me Nick. How we doing? As you can see, yes, still in New York. Manhattan, downtown, right off of Times Square. Things are still they're at a boil, but summer, I guess. Haven't really seen too much, but things are getting, I think things are toning down just a little bit. But they're talking about opening up New York on Monday, so that should be a whole nother ball game. One more week. I gotta survive one more week. Though I was told today that I look like an assassin. I don't know. Does the mask give me away? I mean, you either look like a surgeon or you look like you're gonna rob somebody. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I do tack out well, just because I tack out for work because it's easier that way. It's more comfortable and the extra pockets help with the handling tools, even when I'm doing electronic and technical installs. But let's get into this. Wow. I mean, this whole Paul Howard in Georgia. I am had a little bit of downtime this afternoon, been doing a little bit of research, watching some of my other fellow YouTubers out there. Folks, how the hell do you press charges on somebody when the investigation isn't even done yet? And the Georgia Internal Affairs had no idea that Paul Howard, the DA for the county, was even pressing charges. And so he's pressing charges. The investigation isn't over yet. They're part of the way through, and then, excuse me. Then you have this Paul Howard just running out there, and well, as you can see here, you know. So Paul Howard got out there, beat his chest. I am the DA. I will prosecute. I'm gonna get the death penalty, whatnot. You know what? Paul Howard, I think, is on his way to his own demise. I mean, seriously. Let's take a look at this stuff. You know, not even 2 weeks prior to this, he stood up there and he actually had cops arrested for pointing a taser at kids to kind of as non-lethal. But as a non-lethal deterrent, but because he pointed a lethal, he claims that a taser is a lethal weapon, he had these cops arrested. But in this case, with Mr. Brooks, all of a sudden, even though he fired a taser, it's completely crazy. I mean, so he fired 2 weeks prior. He says that he stands up there in front of everybody and says a taser is classified as a lethal weapon. Okay, well, if that's a lethal weapon, then that means Brooks fired a lethal weapon at cops, and cops used lethal force. Let that sink in for a second here. Per his own description of a taser is a lethal weapon. So Mr. Brooks scuffled with the cops, stole a taser, pointed a taser, fired a taser at the cops, and got dead. Anybody else? Am I missing something here? Because this seems like a cut and dried common sense. These cops shouldn't have been charged. There's no way. If you stop and actually look at this stuff, there's no reason these cops should be charged. Things don't make sense. They're not adding up. And, we've got to, and we're already on a powder keg. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you what, take race out of the equation. It doesn't matter. White man, black man, purple man, brown man, tan man. Take that out completely out of the equation. You've got a criminal doing criminal stuff, And because he's doing criminal stuff, breaking the law, is the only reason he had a confrontation with the cops. 41 minutes into it, when he realized he was going back to jail because he was out on parole for, and I'm not positive on this, and I got to do a little bit more research, but I heard he was supposed to get 7 years in prison, but he was released early due to COVID. So we released this, but now, yet again, now this goes back to Democratic run city, Democratic police chief, Democratic DA. So they release these criminals and things happen, and now it's the cops' fault. Why was he released early? Why was he put on probation for 6 years? A lot of things don't add up here. And I'm hoping that, don't forget to like, share, hit the bell, so when I go live, hopefully I'll be able to go live soon, and as I build up followers. I need a little bit of help. Working on the going live thing, but right now, yeah. Still working on building on my follower base, and I appreciate that. And, you know what? Common sense. If you guys watch any of my other videos, yes, you know that, common sense. I work in the security field. Working in the security field, I've been in similar situations. And it hasn't been the exact greatest. I've had some confrontations. And the thing is, every time you get into a confrontation, there is that doubt in the back of your mind, I might not be going home tonight. And I'm sure those cops were thinking the same thing. But yet, instead, were they supposed to let him go? Oh, you just let him go. Just let him go. Why? And then when he goes off, commandeers a car, kills a mother of 4, crashes into a family of 6, runs over a couple bicyclists because he's drunk, then it's the cops' fault again. I mean, you can't win. There is no good scenario here. You know what? If Brooks wouldn't have been doing criminal activities, wouldn't have been over drinking, wouldn't have been causing problems, he wouldn't have had the confrontation. Without the confrontation, he would still be here. You know what? It's a shame that he got shot. It's a shame that he's dead. I'm not downplaying that. But you know what? If you're going to act the fool, you're going to die like the fool. This is plain and goddamn simple. You know what? I have been in so many confrontations where people have almost died. I have choked more than one person out in situations where, I can still remember a time in California where, I had a 7-foot guy. I'm 6'6". I had a 7-foot guy that freaking knocked me upside the head, knocked me on the ground, and yeah, I've been in these situations. You know what? They had to pursue him. At this point, he had assaulted officers, he had stolen the taser, and he was running away. What do you want? You want that guy going loose? And then when he kills your daughter, your wife, your son, then it's, the cops should have done this. Everybody's got 20/20 vision on what should be done. I'm going to tell you right now, though, this case is going to get ugly. It's going to and Paul Howard, the DA, mark my words, he is on the fast track to nowhere fast. Because he is on the train to nowhere. He's overcharged. I mean, voluntarily homicide? It's not even manslaughter. It's self-defense, and we need to. And you know what? You guys are going to get what you guys are asking for. You want to defund the police? You know what? The blue flu is coming across Atlanta hard. And I know for a fact, coming up, there's even going to be a bigger wave of walkouts that I'm catching from. It's on the down low, but you know what? I hope it does happen. That police are going to walk off in honor of, first off, being mistreated, things that are going on. I heard in New York that the cops are all going to walk out July 4th. The cops walk out July 4th. There is nobody to stop anybody. your family member gets killed by a drunk driver, there's not going to be any cops to come arrest him and come write up the tickets. You know what? Get drunk. You know what? I'm not going to be in New York. Thank you. I won't be in New York at that time. So thank you very much. Thank you. The stars have aligned. Because, you know what? Go out there, get drunk, shoot up each other. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to be there. If there are no cops on duty, there's nobody to arrest anybody. There's nobody to respond to somebody breaking into your house. There is nobody to respond to a drunk driving incident. There is nobody to respond if somebody decides to set off fireworks and burn down your house. Well, I guess fire department will show up, but there's going to be nobody to go arrest anybody. Somebody breaks into your house, rapes your daughter, rapes your wife. That's going to be on you guys. But you know what? Welcome to defund the police. They think that New York's going to be a utopia without police. I've heard more than one person say. You know what? I'm kind of glad I'm not going to be here. Because, you know what? While I'm in New York right now, I'm in Manhattan. It's okay, but you know what? I'm gonna be out. I'm here for another week, and I'm out, and my job's done here. But you know, what's this place gonna turn into once I leave? I don't know. There's a lot of boarded up stuff in downtown. Tomorrow I'll take a walk around and show you guys firsthand, because I've got some free time this weekend, and you know what? I need some exercise. But I want you guys to keep watching. And I'm not going to go on because I could go on for hours about this stuff. But you know what? The right of use of deadly force, you got to remember something here. Should Brooks have been killed? No. But should Brooks have assaulted officers, stole a lethal weapon, ran away from the cops? You know what? Man up. If you're going to break the law and you think you're not going to get arrested and you think you're going to play gangsta, you know, you watched you played one too many round of Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to beat the cops and I'm going to run away and blah, blah, blah. That ain't real life, folks. Maybe we need to look at video games, rap music, hip-hop culture. Maybe we need to look at some of these, you know, TV shows we've got on TV, you know, like the OG and, you know, Blacks, and, you know, we've got all these movies that hype this stuff up. But you know what? Let's remember this. Everybody wants to be a gangsta. Gangsters either turn gay in the pen or die in the street. 9 out of 10. It's a proven fact. Words from Ice-T himself. But, you know, hey, let's wake up. We need more love. We need more God. But you know what? Systematic racism. You know what? Let's take the color out of it. It ain't a white cop, black criminal thing. It's a criminal thing. Until we rehab people's mindset. Respect. You're going to break the law, you get caught. You need to respect the law. You're going to break the law, act the fool, you're going to die like the fool. It's pretty cut and dry. And there was 4 different instances in that video. Having friends who are cops, and obviously I have consulted a few police officers, even here in New York City, on what they thought. They all, granted, they can't do a live video because that would just get them in trouble. And I'm not out to get nobody in trouble. I'm not taking down badge numbers and names and, you know, trying to rat anybody out here. But you know what? I've asked a few people. They all said, justified. You attacked an officer. You drove drunk. You attacked an officer. You're obviously incapacitated to a certain extent, but you were somehow you got your second wind and decided that it was a good idea to fight the cops. He fought the law. The law won. Harsh but truth reality, folks. But folks, stay safe out there. Stay frosty. Watch your 6. 4th of July weekend's coming up. Hopefully everybody's with their families. I hope everybody's staying safe, adhering to the warnings. Wear your masks. I don't know if it does any good or not. Nobody does. We're all in this together. But you know what, folks? We got to get some more common sense. You know, burning down your city for criminals and holding criminals to this new, there's some kind of like, criminal, when you hold criminals to, put them on a pedestal and make them God, you know what? Criminals are down here. They're down here for a reason. They're towards the gutter. They're not stand-up people. Hence the word criminal, law-breaking. You got law-abiding, law-breaking. Which side are you on? Once you break the law, there's a whole nother set of rules. When you're law-abiding, there's a whole nother set of rules. When you're law-abiding, nobody messes with you. You walk down the street, you do your thing, you don't break the law. Once you break the law, once you assault police officers, the gloves come off and the rules change. And I hate to say it, but Mr. Brooks, you were in charge of your own fate and you created your own destiny. And it's a shame. I hate to see anybody die, but you know what? When you create the situation, it's kind of on you. What would have happened if he would have just went to jail like he was going to because he was obviously well intoxicated over the legal limit? He'd still be here. It's not the cops' fault. The cops got up, went out, did their job. And that's what we need to reiterate. There's more cops out there that get up, they go out there, they do their jobs daily. They don't know if they're coming home. Every time they put that uniform on, there's a chance they might not come home. My dad being a public servant, 33 years. I remember as a kid, you know, I watched some bad TV shows where my dad was a firefighter. And I still remember when I was young, I used to be scared to death because there were shows like 911 and you watch all these TV shows where cops and firefighters, you know, they get in bad situations and die. And I started putting two and two together. Like, that's what my dad does. I remember when, you know, there was a time for probably several years when I was younger. I was so worried. I had myself so worked up because I was worried about my dad not coming home. What was going to happen? You know, my dad was the primary breadwinner. You know, I was scared we weren't going to be able to eat. We were going to lose the house. It was, you know... So I had a lot more common sense as a kid. So you know what? I know what these officers' families go through personally. Let's give them a break. Let's show them that we do care and we do need them, and let's support them. But, folks, Last Patriot 2016, codename Skyscraper, known as the Badass Geek. Friends like to call me Nick. Stay safe. Peace. I'm out. Time to go hang out in the city. Be safe out there.